Strathpeffer Artisan Bread. Today I'm going to show you how to make flatbreads. So for flatbreads we use them as wraps or pita breads, or even we could make tortilla chips out of them. But these are a really nutritious quick snack that we can make with hopefully some ingredients that you have at home. Today I have my ingredients already weighed out, and I've got 240 grams of flour, and here I have a mix of wholemeal and plain flour. Now I'm using a Scottish wholemeal flour and some strong white bread flour, but you can use any flour at all just to make up the right quantity. You could use rye flour or just any flour you have in your cupboards, and that would make a really good nutritious snack. We also have yoghurt, so you use the same quantity of yoghurt to flour, and you could use Greek yoghurt, plain yoghurt. We're using an Alpro yoghurt, so sort of lactose free or vegan, whatever is good for you. And then we're going to add to the dry ingredients, we have some baking powder and some salt. And what I really like about these flatbreads is that they are zero waste. There is no packaging attached to them. They are nutritious, and you can make them suitable for you. So whether you had a food intolerance or you have a food preference, you can make these fit your needs exactly. So I'm just going to get the ingredients together. What we're going to do is we're going to add the dry ingredients together in the bowl. We're going to add the yoghurt to it, and then we're going to bring it all together into a ball of dough. So let's get on with that. So we're going to take our flour, add that to the bowl, and then our baking powder and the salt. And I'm going to mix this about. To this, I'm going to add the yoghurt. So you can initially use the spoon, and then we're going to get it to a stage where we can knead it as a ball of dough. Just want to incorporate all the dry ingredients and get the yoghurt through it as much as possible. Okay, so we get it all off and we make it into a ball. And then we're going to let this ball of dough rest for 10 to 30 minutes, and this will give you a chance to get whatever food you want to use with that together before we do a little bit more to it. So I just press it all together. And we have it into a bowl. And what I will do is put some flour on the surface, and I'm going to give it a knead to bring it into a really nice smooth ball of dough, and then we can let that rest, ready to make it into flatbreads. So when you knead dough, you really just want to have some flour on your surface and just basically press away with this part of your hand and make it into a lovely smooth ball of dough. It's quite sticky with the yoghurt, and depending which yoghurt you've used, it will be different, but you can always add, if it's too sticky, just add a little bit more flour. You just want it to look really nice, like a soft pebble. And then we're going to put that to one side and let it rest for 10 to 30 minutes. Okay, so the dough has had a chance to rest. and we're going to put this back onto a floured surface, and I would cut this amount of dough into 8, and this will make us 8 small flatbreads. It's totally up to you. If you have a really big frying pan, then cut it into 4 and make some big flatbreads, but totally down to you how large you want to make them. So I'm going to cut the dough into 8 pieces. And we're going to make each of these pieces of dough into a ball. So get your dough, get some flour on it, however you want to do it, with it in your hand, make it into a ball. And I will make each of them. Okay, so we have got all of our dough into little ball shapes, and then what we'll do is we'll take each one individually and flatten it out again on a floured surface. Just make it sure it's covered in flour so it doesn't stick, and this will get us started off. So we just get it into a nice round disc shape, and then we take our rolling pin or whatever we're using, make sure that has got some flour on it, and then we roll it out and keep turning it until it's approximately 2 to 3 millimeters thick. Just remember to keep flour in it because they do stick. Get it as thin as you dare, and it will make a really tasty flatbread. So I would say that is quite a good size for most frying pans. And then I'll just put it over to one side and we'll start cooking in a moment. So I'm just rolling out the last flatbread, and I've got them all sat on the tray, and then we can get busy cooking. So don't worry, they won't be a perfect shape, but the taste will definitely make up for how they look. The last one there. Just brush any excess flour off because that will be not needed in the pan, and then I'll just sat together then. Brilliant. So what we need to do now is get the frying pan warming up on the hob, and as I say, it needs to be a high heat. So if you've got an electric hob, then maybe say a 7 or nearly 3/4 of the way if it's gas. So just get it nice and hot if you're going to fry something, but we don't need to put any oil in, we just dry fry them and they will take on a nice colour and hopefully puff up a little. Okay, so we've got our frying pan on a high heat, and you can see it is smoking a little bit, and we're going to put the next flatbread into the pan, just lay it on and let it cook. So it needs 1 to 2 minutes per side. We've got it on number 7, and we'll just let it lie in the pan and just shoot it about, and you can see a little bit of the steam coming off, and then we want it to hopefully puff up a little bit and it'll have some sort of spots of golden colour. I mean, the great thing about these is we can make these flatbreads now, and if you want to eat them, great, but if you're not going to be eating them, you can store them in a sealed container, either a tin or a plastic container, and then later on, if you wanted to take them out, you could warm them up in the oven, either maybe cover them with some foil or within a container itself, or you know, they would freeze, or there's no need. You'll never have enough of them left to worry about that. But they are a really, you know, good food that you can sort of make a little batch up and whether you eat them now or later, they will be great and really nutritious. So obviously, whether you're making a soup to go with them, or whether you're going to be having something like fajitas, or just using it to sort of dip in, or with some hummus, you know, they are a really nutritious snack. So I don't know if you can see, it's just starting to puff up now. We'll just sort of press it down a little bit, and it's just going to be taking on a little bit of colour. And if you're really brave, you can flip them over or just use the tongs, and it's just taking on, you know, that good colour. That'll be perfect. Give it another minute on that side and they will be done. So as I say, about 1 to 2 minutes per side, just till it's a similar colour as that side, and then we'll just stack them up. If you wanted to wrap them in a tea towel, that would keep them warm if you're going to eat them at the time. Yeah, so that's a good colour. I'll just give that a little do. Brilliant. And then we'll just carry on. Okay, so this is our last flatbread that has been, it's puffing up beautifully. So we are going to have our flatbreads later on today, and with them we're going to make lamb koftas. So that's lamb mince made into little sausage shapes, and we will basically make some mint yoghurt, spread that on the flatbread, add the kofta and maybe some shredded cabbage to that, or some salad. But they're great. You can, another thing we like doing is brushing them with oil and sprinkling some fresh herbs out of the garden on them, you know, as a bit of an alternative to garlic bread. Or a really nice, quick and easy meal is to make a flatbread pizza, where you basically brush it with some tomato puree, add some pizza herbs, and maybe add some cheese or whatever you would like on a pizza. So hopefully there's plenty of ideas there. And they are now cooked. So let me add this to the stack. So there we go. We have got 8 flatbreads there. And they, as you can see, they are really quick and easy to make, using ingredients that you have at home, and you can make them ideal for you. So I really hope you enjoy that. Thank you very much.